मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरो दीनतारिणम्. Hare Krishna. So yesterday we were discussing about the importance of happiness, how happiness comes, and then who can really get happiness in this world. So we'll continue the discussion on those lines, in the lines of what our acharyas are teaching us. Dear devotees, everyone hankers for happiness in this world. Who doesn't want happiness? Everyone wants happiness. You see a living entity, right from spider, small ants, aquatics, other living entities. They all want to be happy. They all want to be happy through different means. They want to be happy through sleeping, through eating, through defending, and then through mating. So that is quite natural for every jiva in this world, because the jiva did actually came in this world to be happy. No doubt the jiva really want to be happy in this world, but the jiva cannot get the glimpse. It can only get the glimpse, but it cannot get the essence of the happiness. That's why through those desires, through an action, it will develop a desire. Through the desire, it will do another action. Through that action, it will develop another desire. So the desires and action, it's a continuous process. Through that evolution, what happens is the jiva is actually changing different bodies to try to get that happiness, because his whole idea is to figure out how do I be happy independently. That's the nature of this world, right? You see, this entire world is actually designed like that. Designed in the sense, this creation came based on the needs and necessities of the jiva. Otherwise, Lord wouldn't have created this. If all the living entities are with the Lord, it's only very partial amount of percentage is here. Please try to understand. Even though there are so many innumerable, uncountable living entities created in this particular world, but that's only partial. Only that partial number is actually here. So this partial number is actually trying to perceive happiness in this world. This is only partial number. But if we actually closely observe, every jiva is actually trying to think that this will give me happiness. If I do this action, this will give me results, or this will give me happiness. And it does the activity also. Through that activity, what is also happening is, through that activity, the time is also consuming. Please, the jiva doesn't realize this. For example, a person works very hard for 20-30 years. After working 20-30 years, he has a home. Or else, if a person who is in the age of 30, he purchases a big home. Now, does he have that money? No, he will take a loan. Now, to repay a loan, how much time it will take? 15 years, 20 years. That means eventually after 20 years, he will own that home. But if you actually see, time has passed the 20 years. The way he looked back, all he did was he paid the interest. And then now he has to live in that home. How many years more he will live? 15, 20 more years. That's about it. So the period is very short actually. But the jiva doesn't think that he has only this short period, because that is also the nature of the soul. Please try to understand. The soul is not indifferent. Even though it is there in this body,
Yeah,
even though the soul has existence in this body, still the soul is perceiving himself as he lives eternally. Now, nobody purchases a home thinking that he's going to die. Nobody in this world has that conception. Even though we die, but But the Jiva always perceives that he is there always. Now, that is also one of the core reasons the Jiva aspires to stay. He would ask the doctor, can you please give me 10 more days to live? Only 10 days. Why? Because he thinks that that 10 days will give him some kind of happiness or satisfaction, which he did not get previously. That means he's always looking for something. Even on the deathbed, he's looking for something. That means the Jiva, then that is the nature of the Jiva. Jiva will always look for something. That something he is actually searching since lifetimes, not this life. Since lifetimes he's searching. Continuously he's searching again and again. Is this not fascinating, dear devotees? No, he goes to mother's womb, he goes to one mother's womb, and then after that he comes out. Eventually he comes out, he will try to aspire for that happiness. He will get a calf body. Sometimes he'll get a deer body. Small deer, baby deer. What is that baby deer trying to do? Trying to eat something, drink something, trying to jump from one state to the other state, from one place to the other place. Through that it is getting happiness. Trying to eat some fruits, some berries, through that it is trying to get happiness. It we just don't we shouldn't think that, oh, the moment this body is gone, everything is gone. No, 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 no. We will be there. Because this is only an instrument. That's why the happiness who is hankering, it is not this body, but the person who is there within the body. No, through that false perception is thinking that sex life will give happiness or sense gratification will give happiness. That's a false perception. Because if I am not this, then how do I get happiness through this? That's an interesting point. If I'm not this, then how can I get happiness through that? That means we are not this, but we are trying to get happiness through that. That means you took the ticket from Memphis to Tampa. That is your ticket, flight ticket. But you're trying to board Memphis to Seattle flight or Memphis to Dallas flight. The moment you go to the, with the boarding pass with that particular person, the whoever is there, the airline person, he says that, no, this is not the right barcode because this is not the right ticket. You should go to some other gate. He will immediately tell. The only problem is, in this example, the person is there to tell us. The airline person is there to tell us. But in our real life example, there is nobody who's there to tell us. Even though if there's somebody who's there to tell us, like our spiritual teacher, even though they are there, but we are not ready to hear in that way. The moment we are not ready to hear in that way, that means just like a person who is not hearing the airline person, if he hears, then he says, you go to gate number 20. This is wrong. You should go there. Then if he goes to gate 20, that's it. His problem is solved. Likewise, the moment we understand that there is no happiness here, there is no happiness through this body, if we don't try to aspire happiness through this body, that means we need to aspire where is the real happiness. The real happiness is in the words of the acharyas. Please try to understand. The real happiness is with the Lord. Yesterday was the last day of Damodar Ashtaka. I was so fascinated because I was just thinking, I am doing this diya again I have to do this diya after 1 year. My dear Lord, please accept this. I don't know whether we will be there after 1 year or not, but please accept this. Please accept this small offering. I can't do big things. My dear Lord, I can't lift huge mountains just like Hanuman lifted. I can't do that. My dear Lord, please accept this. Please accept this small offering. It's a small gratitude. I don't know, I can't do big services. My dear Lord, please, this small thing. You accept, I don't know when I'll do this again. Please accept this. So that was the prayer yesterday. Because again, it's gone. The 1 month of Damodar is gone. It's complete. So the time doesn't stay, dear devotees. The Chaturmasya is complete. Chaturmasya is a masa for austerities. 4 months of austerities. It's complete. Again to Chaturmasya comes, we need to wait. We need to wait 10 more, 8 months more. So, dear devotees, the time continuously goes. I was just reflecting on this. If the time is continuously passing like this, then how are we able to move forward in the process of Krishna consciousness? Because time factor, we cannot stop. Just like we discussed, right? Last couple of weeks back, Ishvara, Jiva, Prakriti, Kala, Karma. Ishvara, Jiva. Ishvara, we cannot control Ishvara. Can we control Ishvara? No. Jiva, if the Jiva is fully pure, then the perception of the Jiva is totally different. But if the Jiva is not fully pure, then that's a problem again. That is second. Prakriti, can we control Prakriti? No. We can't control Prakriti, but when we follow or abide to the instructions of the Acharyas, then Prakriti will not put force on us. But until that point of time, Prakriti is also not in our hands. Kala. Is Kala in our hands? No. Kala is not in our hands. But the only thing which is there in our hands is the last thing, which is karma. That means if a person, just like the airline person, he says, Baba, you should go to gate 20. If you go there, that's it. You are not doing any new karmas. What are you trying to do? You are just following that person's words and then you just go there and you get the result. Likewise, when we follow the instructions of our acharyas, we are not doing new karmas. What are we trying to do? We are actually removing karmas from our life. The karmas are removed. Not just we are practicing Krishna consciousness, but through that, what is happening is unwanted weeds are also removed. Just like the desire, if we see committing sinful activities, atoning to the sinful activities is not an ordinary thing. Just like Srila Prabhupada was mentioning, right? Where Varnashrama Dharma is a process of atonement. That means before death, one should come to that state. What is that state? Pure state. Pure state is what? When one completely stops committing sinful activities in his life. Completely. That is pure state. Now, through that pure state, when whatever he does after that, that is immense progress. Because but to come to that pure state, one require continuous association from pure souls. Who are actually constantly guiding us, continuously telling us this is what we should do, this is what we should do, this is how we should lead our life. And when we immediately follow that, then what happens? That's it. That means what is happening? The last aspect, which is karma bandhana, the karma bandhana is removed. The hridaya granthi, which is there in the heart, is removed. Pumsa striyam maituna bhavametam tarormritam hridaya granthi mahu atagrha kshetra sitapta vitter janasya mohoyam hammameti. The hridaya granthi which is there, how is that removed? When a person becomes free from what? False actions, false arrogance, and false ego. What are these false arrogance, false actions, false ego? What are all this trying to tell? Krishna speaks about this in 18th chapter of Gita, where he clearly tells if a sadhaka is free from these things, then he can take up the process of Krishna consciousness nicely. This is telling Arjuna, it's almost at the end. Arjuna is almost about to jump into the battlefield. He is already prepared by this time. By the time Arjuna came to the 18th chapter, he is already prepared. Actually, in second chapter only he realized it. The moment Krishna spoke few words after submission, he realized everything. And then later on, he's asking questions for all benefit. Just see, dear devotees, the pure souls, little little disturbance or obstruction, just like the water. If the lake is very stable, you can see everything what is there under the water. But if you throw some stones in the water, you see pebbles. But through that pebbles, you cannot see what's there in the bottom of the lake. So immediately when some pebbles do come into the consciousness of a pure soul, what they do is they know what to do at that moment. They immediately turn towards the Lord. They immediately take shelter of pure souls, Vaishnavas. Then what is happening? Then they are removed. From where? They are removed from the obstructions. Because who doesn't have obstructions in this world? Everyone has obstructions. Now, Srila Prabhupada mentions about this. When there are obstructions in one's life, it is good because through that obstruction, the devotee is taking shelter. Now, he gives his personal example. He says, just like I took shelter of the words of my spiritual master, which gave me solace during difficulties, especially when he was in the Jaladuta. There was a lot of difficulties to Srila Prabhupada. At first, he didn't know that the train, the flight, the ship journey will be like this because he never experienced that before. That means that is a real first time experience. So when a difficulty comes, Srila Prabhupada showed us where and how to act to take the difficulty. You remember our dear Vamshilas Prabhu spoke that bhajan, right? Couple of weeks back, where Srila Prabhupada was mentioning in that very clearly that no, 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 this is what we need to aspire. He says that, my dear Lord, I thought that my family will help me, my friends will help me, my money will help me, so many other things will help me. But no, no, my dear Lord, everything is falling apart in my life. Now you are the only shelter for me. Is it not an experience? And that experience he perceived on the Jaladuta. Because what is it he's going through? Oh, so many horrible difficulties. He cannot eat properly. Whatever he's eating, it's coming out. He has nausea, so much difficulties, so many difficulties. And at that moment, he said Chaitanya Charitamritam gave him solace. He writes later about that. Who is giving solace? Chaitanya Charitamritam. The Shastra is giving him solace. His spiritual master is giving him solace. His words are giving him solace. Presence of the Lord is giving him solace. He celebrated Janmashtami on the Jaladuta. That is giving him solace. He fed all the people who are there, Prasad, Krishna Prasad. He spoke about them, Krishna. He spoke about them. He spoke to them about Krishna consciousness. He was so happy that day. He writes in the diary. So, this is something profound. What is that? What is that experience? That experience came through difficulties. So, when there is an obstruction, when there are pebbles in the water, just like Arjuna, he turned immediately. He said, my dear Lord, this is the only thing which I can do. Because you know what is the real happiness? The happiness with Krishna is only real happiness. See, that is a secret. Everything is created by him, but we don't see him. Everything is perceived by him, but we cannot perceive him. Everything is given to us by him, but we cannot see him. We cannot give back to him. Can we give him? Can we give back to him directly? No. Today morning, when we were doing Tulsi prayer, this is what I was thinking. Oh, Mother Tulsi, you came from the spiritual world just to accommodate us, just to accommodate this jiva in this world, and then to connect these jivas to the Lord. You are doing unlimited services in the spiritual world, but still you took this position, very menial position actually, because wherever you go, you see Tulsi Maharani. Even in filthy places, also we see Tulsi Maharani. Babre. I remember a couple of years back, in our community, devotees did this yajna. They went around the temple for like couple of kilometers. And then wherever they saw Mother Tulsi at different filthy places, they actually slowly uprooted her. And then they brought all of them to the temple. Because Mother Tulsi, she cannot be in those situations. Just imagine the devotees. The same Mother Tulsi is actually orchestrating all the leaders in the spiritual. That mother is taking this position to give us Krishna consciousness. What is this? That means every person, every acharya who comes into this world, what are they doing? They are giving up their godlyhood. They are giving up their pure association with the Lord. And then they are coming here into this material world and then giving us this association. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Maharaj, at the age of 93, he wrote Chaitanya Charitamrita. That too after receiving an instruction from Nityananda Prabhu. Up until that point of he knows everything. He knows all the passions of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He knows everything, every nitty-gritty details. Because he learned from Sarup Damodar Goswami Maharaj. Everything he knows. But he never showed externally until he received the service. This is Vaishnavism. They know everything, but they don't speak. Until they've been given a service. This is devotion, dear devotees. That means working for the other person. Tulsi Manana is working for the pleasure of the Lord, working for higher authority, working for her authority. Who is her authority? Srimati Radharani. It is her desire so that she comes here and then she orchestrates this. That's why we worship her very, very with awe and reverence, with respect. With the respect, beautiful respect. Krishna, Krishna. So that natural state we need to aspire. This is happiness, dear devotees. What kind of happiness we have in this material world? Nothing, futile, very limited. ध्यायतो विषया पुंसा संगस्येज वजायते संगात संजयते काम काम क्रोध विजायते. When one meditates on the senses and the sense objects, he develops attachment. The moment he meditates on that, he develops attachment. Through that attachment, when the desire is not fulfilled, the attachment is transformed into anger. And through that anger, all the intelligence is lost. Because what is he aspiring? Because he has an attachment. That is why Dhyayato, at the thought level, at the consciousness level only, one should cut that material propensities, which is pulling. Just like we took that example, right, yesterday. The person on one side, he has lion. On the other side, he has python. On the bottom, he has crocodile. On the top, he is getting from honey. Now, if a person is sincere, what will I lick here? How much time I will lick this? I have this tiger one side, I have python one side, I have crocodile one side. What's gonna I do by licking this? What is the tiger, dear devotees? Old age. What is this python, dear devotees? Dana Jana Sundari. What is this crocodile, dear devotees? Jara, Vyadi. We have all of these things. Still, little some sense enjoyment is coming. We are trying to lick that. This is called as Puna Puna Charvita Charvita. For example, if somebody is hanging a knife on our head, will we be able to peacefully honor Prasad? We don't know when that knife will fall on our head. We don't know. What we try to do, we try to first fix that, then we will honor this. Likewise, when Prahlad Maharaj says, if there is no happiness in this world, means that's it, there is no happiness in this world. But if somebody is aspiring for happiness in this world, where there is no happiness in this world, then what is that? Is it the real agenda of this world? That is not the real agenda of this world. Because lot of devotees, lot of practitioner devotees might also tell, no, that's okay. you should chant, you should also do some enjoyment. They might tell. In the lines of seniority, they might tell, no, 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 that's okay. You can enjoy also in this world. You can practice and then enjoy. Better be practical. They might tell those words. They might look, that words might look soothing to us. But we should never aspire for that. We should say, Prabhu, I'm already fallen. Why? If I go and engage in this, again, Patita is already Patita. If I go and engage in that, what's gonna happen? I'm already fallen. I don't want to aspire that. My dear father, I only want to eat Krishna Prasad. Not too limited, whatever is required for my body. Because Tapo Divyam Putragayana Sattva, whoever does austerities for the pleasure of the Lord, for the pleasure of the Acharyas, he will get benefit in this world. Because Krishna says, Are I am Govinda. Govinda means what? The person who gives pleasure to the senses. Now Krishna is personally telling that I will give pleasure to your senses. That means we don't have to put an endeavor, extra endeavor to satisfy our senses. We just have to serve. Our senses will be satisfied. We just have to chant. Krishna will give that happiness. We don't have to sit that, oh Krishna, today I'm going to chant Hare Krishna, I'm going to get happiness. That in that way it will not work. Sincerely you chant, happiness it will come. Krishna will give. Spiritual after mercy it will come. That is the only way to get happiness actually. But we cannot sit, oh my dear Lord, I'm sitting here since I chanted few rounds also. Why there is no happiness? My dear Krishna, please give me happiness. That way doesn't work. How it will work? You just continue. You just continue to chant. You just continue to hear. You just continue to do the things. You just continue to bring this truth to the office. Take this truth to the office. Meditate on those truths. Meditate on those words. Meditate on the lives of the acharyas. When we do that, we are not anchoring for happiness. But what are we trying to do? We are trying to do an action which is given by our acharyas. Just like Arjuna did. Arjuna was being told by the Lord, Ma Manuswara Yuddhacha, that you meditate on me and then do fighting. Now that is an instruction by the Lord to Arjuna. That means Arjuna means so is it only to Arjuna? No, it's to everyone, it's to all of us. That means when we take, for example, if a person can meditate about the Lord during the battlefield, that means a person can meditate about the Lord during any circumstances. That means person can meditate upon the Lord in any circumstance. That means the moment we have time, we can remember the Lord. We should meditate on the instructions of the Lord. Now, the same Dhyayata Vishya Pumsa can be done in other way. Why to meditate on the sense objects? Rather than we should meditate on the form of the Lord, on his pastimes, on his qualities, beautiful qualities. The Lord doesn't like. The Lord doesn't like what? This is a beautiful thing, right? We discussed few days back. Sanaka, Sanatana, Sanandana, Sanatakumar. Even though Lord gave the association to these four people, even though Lord gave them Bhakti Yoga, even though Lord gave them love of Godhead, but still Lord was not pleased with them. On one side is giving them mercy, but on the other side is not happy with them. Because those personalities, what they did, they cursed his devotees. They cursed Jay Vijay. Jay Vijay out of their duty, they stopped them. On one side, when we see it, then it is not the mistake of Jay Vijay also. That's why Lord was upset. The Lord was not happy with that. That means when we see here on Lord one side, he is happy on an aspect. On the other side, he is not happy on an aspect. Now we should see why the Lord is not happy in this aspect. Here the Lord is not happy because they have offended his pure devotees. That means what we should as well, we should never do any offenses to the devotees. That's it. That's the marcation. That's the demarcation. We're not judging anyone. No, we know where to hear. We know what to do. We know what to aspire. Rest everything, we should just not dwell into their business. That is not my business. For example, if a person who is not in the association and then is not hearing, that's not my business. No, I might pray for him, but that's not my business. I don't judge him. That's his own thing. But whoever is coming in the association, whoever tries to hear, whoever inquires, whoever is asking questions, whoever really wants to take the truth to the core of the heart, they are, for them, responsibilities there. They are my responsibility. I should make sure that they come to the plane of pure devotional service. So that is my responsibility. If I do not give that proper justification to them, then what I'm doing, I'm doing disservice to my spiritual master. Please try to understand. We are not here to judge anyone, but we are here to correct our consciousness. How one should take to oneself and then how one should see the other person. One should be very strict to oneself. That means he should not deviate even an inch from his internally, his consciousness. But to the other person, he should be very liberal. This is how we should be in the community. We should be liberal to the others. But to ourselves, we should be very strict. And we should cultivate the mood of dasa, dasa, dasa. You are my master, I'm your servant. To the next fellow devotee also. Not only to the spiritual master, to the next devotee also. I'm just fallen, I'm just practicing whatever I've been given. I don't want to judge you. I don't want to do anything. Just want to be happy in practicing Krishna consciousness. This is what we need to aspire. So this, when we see, dear devotees, then then no one in this world can obstruct your progress in Krishna consciousness. You will continue practicing this very, very nicely. There will not be any issues. So this is how one will aspire to become happy. Now, a couple of days back, I was discussing about this very, very important aspect. What is that is, Dara Mataji was asking this question. Now, you said in the class that it will take 1,000 Chaturyugas again for Krishna to come, again for Lord Chaitanya to descend. But she said, I did not understand that. I'll explain that in detail. So, there are 4 yugas, right? Satya, Treta, Dwapara, Kali. When you combine 4 of this, it becomes one Chaturyuga. When this is multiplied by 1,000 times, that becomes a day of Brahma. That means Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they come once only in a day of Brahma. Krishna came just 5,000 years ago. That's one CQ. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came 500 years ago. For Krishna to come again into this earth, there are unlimited earths. We don't know how many. There are unlimited universes. Forget about earth. Unlimited universes. We don't know how many we have. So through that unlimited things, Krishna to descend in this plane, it will take another 1,000 cycles. And one Kali Yuga is 4,32,000 years. If you multiply it by 2, it is Dwapara, 864,000. If you multiply Kali Yuga 432,000 years into 3, that is Treta Yuga. If you multiply 432,000 years into 4, that is Satya Yuga. So when you combine all of this, that means one Chatur Yuga. You should multiply that with 1,000 times. That is one day of Brahma. Likewise, Brahma lives 100 years. So once in a day of Brahma, Lord comes. That means only during that time the gates to Golok are open. Rest of the other time, rest of the I said 1000 Chaturyugas, right? This is one Chaturyuga, right? 999 other yugas are there, right? In that, gates to only Vaikuntha plane are open, not to Goloka. The gates to Goloka are closed. That means Acharyas will not come. That means from the spiritual world, Acharyas will not come. They only come only during this time. When Lord Chaitanya comes, all the Acharyas will come after him as a service to Lord Chaitanya. Who is Lord Chaitanya? Krishna. They all descend. After that, they will not descend. Chaitanya, Srila Prabhupada will not come again. Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, Bhaktivinoda Thakur Maharaj, they will not come again. They only come during this time. That means how fortunate are you all? You are all very fortunate. That's why Srila Prabhupada says this age is golden age. That's why in Kali Yuga, golden age is not possible actually. It's only possible in this Yuga. Because Lord Chaitanya is Namo Mahavadanya Krishna Prem Pradayata. Oh, dear devotees, our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very merciful. We don't know who he is. He's such an amazing personality. He is giving love of Godhead, Krishna Prem. He's just telling, just give up this sense gratification. If you follow those 8 instructions of Shikshashtaka, you will go back and back to God. For sure. For sure. Because in that surrender is there, everything is there. Right from the first sloka, Acheto Darpana Mahajana, to Ashrishava Padaratam Pinustam, which is complete surrender. Everything is there in that. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave his heart actually. This last sloka is actually the heart of Srimati Radha. That is heart of our acharyas. If one aspires for this, in this very lifetime, I'll write it down, you'll go back and back to it. But if you don't follow, there's no chance. Because if you don't follow, then it's krupa. They can send or they might not send. There's no assurance. But if one is following all of these things, then for sure in this very lifetime, one will go back and back to Godhead. Because why am I telling is, we should aspire for this lifetime. Because dear devotees, what is happening is, the Kali Yuga is changing very rapidly. So very rapidly. Things are not like this anymore. The lifespan is decreasing, tolerance is decreasing, uh, compassion to the other living entity is decreasing, and loving affection is decreasing. Relationships are completely gone actually. And everyone is just looking for money, name, fame, profit, adoration. That means when person is looking for money, then he will not look for relationship. He will not look for selfless. There's no selflessness. When these qualities are diminishing, process of practicing Krishna consciousness will become difficult. That is why in this lifetime, we should find that association, immediately take their association, fix up our consciousness, move forward in Krishna consciousness, and go back and back to God. Because only this, during this time only the gates to the Goloka are open. We cannot proclaim that, oh, the doors are always open. Acharyas will always come. No, no. It's only this period. After that, once Chaitanya Mahaprabhu he says winding, it's all winded. Then Aishwarya Bhav is there. Through that Aishwarya Bhav, one will slowly go to the Vaikuntha plane. Hare Krishna. That means whoever, dear devotees, I'll tell one thing. Whoever belongs to Goloka, they will go for sure. Whoever doesn't belong, they will just skip this process. As simple as that. That means we need to understand, it's not for them. That means they belong to some other plane, not to Goloka plane. It's very important. Because not everyone will get the taste to practice Krishna consciousness. It's only few. That's what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. It's very rare. This is the rarest jewel. Manushyanam sahasreshu kashchit yatasiddhare. Yatidamapi siddhamam kashchit mameti tattvataha. It's very rare. Out of millions of people, some will take up to the process of self-realization. Out of the self-realization, some millions of people, some will take up to the process of Krishna consciousness. That is very rare. Now, whoever gets that gift, whoever gets the taste to Shravana and Kirtana, that means you need to understand they are very, very fortunate. Very, very fortunate. So my prayers and best wishes, please aspire for this consciousness. Please try to take up this. Please try to take up this process more and more. Go to the. We don't know how many days we will live in this. We should chant Hare Krishna just like thinking that today is my last day. My dear Lord, today is the only day I have. I don't know whether tomorrow will come or not. This we need to ask. Hare Krishna. I think it's late. I'll stop here. Anyone has any questions? Would like to add anything? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you
Hare
so much
Krishna.
for answering my question earlier. Um, so right now is the main time that we have for, like you said, it's the only time the gates to Goloka are open. I'm still trying to process all the, one day of Brahma and thousand Chaturyugas, the explanation you gave.
Now, the only thing you need to remember is you don't have to meditate on the details of it. Details are okay, but the core important crux is you need to understand is today is the time to practice Krishna consciousness. If you understand that, then that means you got the essence of everything. We don't have to go into the details like technical details. Like how Chaturyugas come, how this come, how that come. That knowing that is okay, but more important than that is, see, in bhakti, the knowledge is already there. But we don't have to go behind the knowledge. And nobody is asking us, if you get Bhakti Vaibhav course only, then only you'll go to the spiritual world. No, if you have devotion to the Lord, you'll go to the spiritual. It's not like we have to cultivate so much knowledge from so many speakers. If we have one speaker whom we trust, whom we have respect, if we hear from them, if you understand the essence, you'll go back to God. Just like Shri Prabhupada said, this Mataji, she doesn't know anything. But every day she brings water to Radha Damodar temple. And Prabhupada said she will go to the spiritual world. What she has devotion. Sometimes too much knowledge is also an issue actually. Sometimes too much knowledge is an issue. Why? Because through knowledge we try to judge the other person. Oh, see, I know so much knowledge. This person doesn't know. Knowledge will also increases the pride in person's heart. But when we hear that knowledge through relationship, then we are protected. Then we will understand, oh, this is being given to me by my spiritual teacher. If he is not there, then how will I understand this? Now he is giving me all these realizations. Now, when we have that attitude, we'll be grounded. Oh, that protected me so much, Dad. That is what I'm telling you. Because it will protect you also. Otherwise, you know what happens after a few days? False ego will come. We did not discuss much about false ego, false actions, false arrogance, false work. We'll discuss more about that. There's so much details. Krishna speaks on that in 18th chapter. We'll try to discuss in the next few classes. And we will also discuss about compassion in the later classes. Hare Krishna. Thank you. I think I'll stop here. Dear Vamshi Lasro, please take over the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, really quick, thank you so very much for the beautiful class. So you started
Yes, Sushil.
soul, which is the actual pleasure seeker or happiness seeker. Now, haven't I not heard that in the past? I did hear in the past, but today, for some reason, today I realized Ananda Bhayobhyasat is a soul tendency, not the body. Body is just a matter. That difference somehow I am able to realize
See,
today.
when you hear in relationship, you'll get reflections, and then you really aspire to take the truth more core to the heart. Because just like a mother is telling the child will immediately accept. Just like when we hear in relationship, then what happens is he's not just a speaker who's speaking something, but I have a relationship with him. That's why hearing with relationship is very important. That I learned from a spiritual master. See, without developing a relationship with the person who's speaking, then the knowledge will become knowledge only. It will not give transformation in the heart. Because the person who is speaking, he's speaking the information. No, he's not keeping the person who are there, he's not keeping the audience in the mind. Because he doesn't know who the audience also. He will just speak to the audience once and then he'll go to somewhere else. He's doing some other service. But our service, which the spiritual master is giving, is how very important is because they actually know us and then they tell us what is beneficial to us, so that we can actually come out of those things, so that we can actually realize them, so that we can actually pursue. For example, the moment we think about sense gratification, you will understand, I'm not even this body, why am I running beyond sense gratification? That means you immediately come out of that. And then you'll remember the person who told. That gives more strength. That gives more energy to actually not do that. That is a secret, actually. That's what Brahma aspired, right? Brahma told, my dear Lord, I know everything, but I want your mercy. Because I don't want to be proud that I'm creating all of these things. How is Brahmaji telling? Because Brahmaji is feeling that relationship with the Lord. The Lord is a spiritual master also to Brahmaji. Because Brahmaji was instructed by the Lord personally. That's very important. So the more we think on those lines, then we will make a lot of sense. Hare Krishna. Is that okay, Amma?
Yes,
Hare
Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Yes, Vamshilas Prabhu, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you for the wonderful class. And
Hare
Pranam, all
Krishna. Nice seeing
devotees.
you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I want to take the dust of the lotus feet of Shri Shilpa Mata